Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of debate only, I yield the customary 30 minutes to my good friend, the gentlelady from New York, Ms. Slaughter, pending which I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. During consideration of this resolution, all time yielded is for the purposes of debate only. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks. Mr. Speaker, earlier today, the Rules Committee met and reported a rule for consideration of the Senate amendment to H.R. 5325, the Continuing Appropriations and Military Construction, Veterans Affairs, and Related Agencies Appropriations Act 2017, and Zika Response and Preparedness Act. The rule makes in order a motion offered by the Chair of the Committee on Appropriations that the House concur in the Senate amendment to H.R. 719 with 60 minutes equally divided and controlled by the Chair and the ranking member of the Committee on Appropriations. Mr. Speaker, as a member of the Appropriations Committee, I'm always disappointed when we're forced to consider continuing resolutions, especially given the work this House has done in the appropriations process this fiscal year. For 2 years in a row, the House Appropriations Committee was able to complete all 12 appropriations bills and complete them before the August recess. In addition, this House passed 5 appropriations bills. Unfortunately, just as in years past, Senate Democrats prevented consideration of many appropriations bills on the floor of that body. This leads us to the unfortunate situation of having to put forward a short-term CR to fund the government through December 9th. I hope that in the weeks and months ahead, the House, the Senate, and the President can come to an agreement on a path forward which ensures we are not in the same position in December. At the same time, I'm pleased that this amendment also includes a fully conferenced Milcon VA bill. The Milcon VA portion provides a 4% increase for the VA, additional resources to address the disability claims backlog, and contains a number of important oversight provisions to make certain our veterans receive the care that they deserve. The military construction portion provides $7.9 billion for military family housing, Guard and Reserve facilities, and military bases both in the United States and around the world. This ensures that we can sustain quality housing for 1.3 million military families. In addition, the Milcon VA bill maintains a provision which prohibits the closure of VA and the construction of any facilities to house detainees in the United States or its territories. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, this amendment also provides a total of $1.1 billion to fight Zika and offsets $400 million of this spending. While I would have preferred offsetting the entire amount and have supported legislation to do just that, I believe this is a reasonable compromise with both the Senate and the administration, both of whom initially proposed no offsets at all. When combined with funds already pre-programmed by the administration for Zika response activities, the total available resources to respond to Zika equals $1.7 billion. This legislation provides the necessary funds for the Center for Disease Control, the National Institute of Health, and the State Department and the USAID to develop vaccines and diagnostic tests for mosquito control, and in addition provides health care resources to those areas experiencing the highest rates of Zika transmission, all while maintaining the Hyde Amendment restrictions barring the use of taxpayer dollars for abortion services. I'm encouraged by the hard work of Chairman Rogers, Ranking Member Lowy, and of course the Speaker, whose leadership has made all this possible. While a CR is not the ideal vehicle, the alternative of a government shutdown is not what we have been sent here to Washington to do. Additionally, I'm encouraged that we are finally returning to regular order and passing full-year appropriations measures by the end of the fiscal year. This is the first time since fiscal year 2006 when we passed 2 bills by the end of the fiscal year, that we have passed any individual appropriations bills through both chambers of the United States Congress by the September 30th deadline. While we have a long way to go, this is a good first step that we can hopefully build upon next year. I urge the support for the rule and the underlying legislation, and with that, I reserve the balance of my